Super Bowl week has officially begun with opening night at Allegiant Stadium right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. In true Vegas fashion, it was an absolute party. The night was filled with performances, extravagant outfits, but most importantly, a whole lot of football. The Sun Devils had a dominating win against Oregon State last night, playing stout defense and building off the Utah game offensively, shooting over 50%. The team has a super important stretch ahead for postseason positioning. It has been runs of ups and downs for the Sun Devils this season. The team has struggled finding consistency offensively, but we have seen growing momentum after commanding wins against Utah and Oregon State. Bobby Hurley believes that the team still needs to lead with defense and urgency to finish strongly. Here at Footprint Center, Suns and Mercury owner Matt Ishbia felt as though the arena didn't promote collaboration and culture the way that he wanted. That's why he moved down the street and built this state-of-the-art facility in just 6 months to improve the experience of not only the employees, but players and families. The NFL Combine kicks off this week at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis with a new batch of prospects looking to show off their skills ahead of the draft next month. Ahead of the physical portion of the Combine, the Arizona Cardinals find themselves in a very interesting position with the 4th and 27th picks in the draft. So let's dive right into who should be on their radar. That's right, Jack. And with some playoff seeding indications at stake, Booker went all in. Booker became the first player since Wilt Chamberlain to score over 50 points in 3 consecutive meetings with a single opponent, while also scoring the most amount of single-game threes in his career, with 7 falling from downtown. D-Book actually grew up across the river from Smoothie King Arena and credits the hometown vibes and family in attendance to his consistent success in the Big Easy. The Firestorm, who are coming off of their 4th straight GSAC regular season championship, are headed to Kansas City to play in the round of 16 of the NAIA tournament. Despite their success, their core values of tough, smart, and unselfish have not wavered. The madness continues today with the Arizona Wildcats taking on Clemson in the Sweet 16. Arizona is trying to take another step towards a hometown Final Four in Phoenix. For more on that opportunity, we bring in Jonah Krell, who's outside Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Jonah, how are the Wildcats feeling ahead of the game with yet another good shot at a Final Four? Odds makers have Arizona as 7-point favorites to beat Clemson, and FanDuel Sportsbook has the Wildcats as the favorite to come out of the West region and into the Final Four. The Indoor Football League season begins this weekend, and the Arizona Rattlers are looking to clinch yet another IFL Western title in their new West Side home. That's right, Paul. She broke the record for most points scored in women's basketball history earlier this month. She scored 33 points for the Hawkeyes, giving them the win against the University of Minnesota. That means she beats Lynette Woodard's record. And after the game, during this press conference, Clark gave the credit for this new record to Woodard. And today, she's declared she's going to the WNBA draft. Dodgers fans travel to Camelback Ranch to get a first look at their new acquisitions. We take a look at what they expect out of their team this year. The last 2 years, the Dodgers have completely fallen short of expectations. Having been eliminated in the first round by San Diego in 2022 and last postseason by the D-backs, the Dodgers went all out in this postseason and signed 2 of the most sought-out free agents. Now fans are ready for the season to begin, and as they put it, it's World Series or bust. The Dodgers' road to the World Series starts during spring training, where they hope to build a foundation that will carry them into the Fall Classic. The second annual NFLPA report cards are out now. This is where players get the chance to grade their experiences at the team facilities in categories such as treatment of families, locker room, head coach, and owner, among others. So how did the cards do? Well, they ranked 27th, with ownership and locker room being graded an F. On the other hand, head coach Jonathan Gannon was the only A on the report card with an A-. There has been some growth as they moved up 4 spots from last year, but there's still a ton of improvements to be made. The main purpose of these report cards is to improve the overall working conditions of the players. The NFLPA hopes to raise standards across the league. Jack, of course, but the Diamondbacks actually have a shot. Arizona fans going to the season opener tonight might see some new changes to the ballpark. Now let's move to the pool where Arizona State swim and dive are looking to win a national championship, which would really be the cherry on top for swimmer Leon Marchand. It was another chippy game between the Suns and Mavericks last night in Dallas. Luka Doncic got into it with a Suns fan who was ejected from the stands in the third quarter. Apparently, the fan yelled that Doncic looked tired and needed to get on the treadmill. The Mavericks superstar also got into it with reporters after the game. There's been a history of tension between these two teams since the 2022 NBA playoffs, and there were 7 technical fouls called in this game. But the Suns didn't let it distract them as they won decisively 132-109. With 40 years as the head coach of Arizona State women's tennis, Sheila McInerney's priority has always been about her players, handwriting notes to recruits, paying for road trip meals out of her pocket, and putting grades first. The Suns are back in action tonight after beating the Lakers last Sunday. That game featured the 40th time in which LeBron James and Kevin Durant played against one another. Their rivalry dates back to 2008. With James nearing retirement age, Durant knows how meaningful it is to share the court with one of the greatest players of all time. Yeah, Ryan, the man of the hour is Jaden Rashada. Now, Rashada hasn't seen a snap of the ball since week 2 against Oklahoma State, but somehow he still leads the team in passing touchdowns with 3. He was seen dressed on the sideline for UCLA and Oregon, but head coach Kenny Dillingham said he would only be used in emergencies. Rashada can play against Arizona and still retain his red shirt, with this being only his 3rd game on the field for the Sun Devils. During Rashada's absence, Dillingham has played 6 different quarterbacks while starting 5 for the first time in school history. These quarterbacks include running back Cameron Scadaboo and tight end Jalen Conyers. We got word this morning that Rashada will play but not start as he was several minutes late to a team meeting yesterday per team policy. Players have typically only missed the first series for the same thing in prior games, so Rashada could be on the field as soon as ASU's second drive. But for now, Trenton Bourguet will be the starter for this Arizona State team. Back to you guys. Yeah, Tia, if we want to talk about this Sun Devil defense, we need to talk about Ro Torrence. Last week against Washington, Torrence gave ASU their very first interception of the season. But he's not just leading on the field, but off the field as well. Earlier this season, Kenny Dillingham spoke on the challenge he gave Torrence to become a better leader within this ASU team. He said, Torrence is over here telling people to pick up their helmets on the sidelines. He's over here telling people to finish and go to drills. Not only that, he's been opening doors for people, picking up trash that's not his, and telling his teammates to pay attention when out on the field. Tonight, ASU is looking to avoid its longest losing streak in school history, but situations like this is where Torrence thrives. Defensive back Jordan Clark said, in those settings when things are difficult and there is adversity, that's when Torrence is at his best. We'll have to see if this mentality can translate to the contest today. Back to you guys. Now to Super Bowl 58 between the Chiefs and the 49ers. San Francisco is favored to win the Lombardi Trophy, which would be a crowning achievement for quarterback Brock Purdy. Purdy's journey started right here in Arizona, going all the way to Perry High School in Gilbert. Back where it all started. During his tenure at Perry, Brock Purdy was named Gatorade Football Player of the Year and led the Pumas to 2 6A state championship games. After being selected last in the NFL draft in 2022, Purdy, nicknamed Mr. Irrelevant, has never been more relevant. But this success is no surprise to the people who helped him get there.
His leadership on the football field was the best leadership I've ever seen in a high school kid. First time I saw him, probably the same thing went through my mind as some of the college scouts and NFL scouts said, this kid doesn't look special. What's so good about him? But then once you get to know him and you see him in action and you see how he carries himself and how he works, there is a difference in him and everybody else.
Brock Purdy's one of those guys that doesn't surprise me. He's on the Super Bowl stage. And on top of it, Brock Purdy's the kind of guy that can handle the Super Bowl stage. Outstanding young man, very humble, has a lot of humility, but he's got the poise, the confidence, I call it even-keeledness, if you will, that a pro quarterback needs.
The excitement that Purdy is headed to the Super Bowl extends beyond Perry High School. The whole valley is buzzing with commotion. Billboards with "Let's Go Brock Purdy" are scattered across Arizona. But the reason he left such an impact was for his leadership off the field.
Brock's character here was second to none. He changed the culture of our school to an extent because of his leadership on campus.
His character, his integrity through the ups and the downs, it's never wavered. I mean, it has never wavered.
Those people at Perry believed in me from day one, so I'll always be appreciative of them, and they've always had my back, through college and then the NFL. So I love Perry High School and will always rep them. Growing up in Arizona, you want to just put on for everybody in your life that has supported you, and obviously to be in the NFL and you see your name on billboards and stuff on like Let's Go Brock. It doesn't get any better than that.
Not only can Purdy lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl victory, he's an MVP finalist and could be one of the lowest draft picks in history to win the award.